Absolutely right. Our Scott Pilier standing by with a special guest from the National Hurricane Center. Scott?
Yeah, guys, I want to bring in Mike Brennan, director of the National Hurricane Center, to once again break down the latest information with Francine. The system is inching its way closer and closer to landfall. Mike, what is the latest on the storm? Have we seen any drastic changes in terms of timing or the impacts?
Not really drastic changes. As expected, we are seeing the forward speed of Francine pick up. You know, the center here now is about 60 miles or so off the south coast of Louisiana, now moving off to the northeast at 16 miles per hour. So that's going to bring the center on shore here along the southern Louisiana coast. You know, in the next few hours, we're seeing those tropical storm conditions moving on shore in these rain bands. We saw a tornado warning pop up for Plaquemines Parish just in the last hour or so, and conditions here are going to deteriorate. That heavy rainfall is going to continue to move inland, and we're going to see that storm surge arrive. The water levels are really going to start to come up along the coast here, where landfall near and to the right of where the center makes landfall here in the next few hours.
And Mike, you know, we have a lot of people that I think are watching from inland locations, both, you know, in the metro New Orleans area, the North Shore and South Mississippi. So if you could relate to viewers, you know, that the threat doesn't end at the coastline, but it kind of starts at the coast and works its way inland.
Yep. Yeah, like if we look at the storm surge warning, we've got a storm surge warning up along the north coast of Lake Pontchartrain, Lake Maurepas, St. Bernard Parish, all the way over to coastal Mississippi. So there's going to be life-threatening storm surge inundation in these areas. In some places, 4 to 6 feet above ground level, all the way down to Plaquemines, and then you know, that's 5 to 10 feet over in the landfall location. If we look at the wind threat, however, we've got hurricane warnings in effect down to Terrebonne and Homa, with tropical storm warnings and hurricane watches in effect for the greater New Orleans metro area, with tropical storm warnings elsewhere. Really concerned about greater New Orleans for the potential for high-end tropical storm conditions, some hurricane force wind gusts with hurricane warnings, and there's hurricane sustained winds and more frequent hurricane gusts just a little farther to the west. There's going to be widespread power outages, potential for tree and structural damage. And then when we move on to the flooding threat, you know, we're really concerned basically about your entire viewing area as a level 3 out of 4 risk for flooding from rainfall. Somewhere in here, we're likely to see isolated rainfall totals as high as 12 inches with widespread 4 to 8 inch amounts. And so that rainfall, in addition, especially in areas where you're going to get that storm surge as well, is only going to exacerbate the flooding issues.
And Mike, I think you bring up a great point too with the level 3 out of 4. Obviously, that's not the top tier threat, but a large majority of flood related damages and deaths occur in either a moderate or a high risk for flash flooding. So the risk is there that people need to take seriously.
Yeah, you know, the moderate risk means a couple different things. It means sort of more coverage of flooding, but also higher end or higher magnitude flooding from rainfall. So you're at risk for both of those in the greater New Orleans, southern Mississippi, southeast Louisiana area from now all the way through tonight and even into portions of early Thursday. So again, the main message for everybody is you need to be in your safe place. You need to be sheltering in place all the way through tonight into tomorrow. Listen to what your local officials are saying about when it'll be safe to venture back outside.
And Mike, I'm wondering if you have any graphics to kind of interpolate how much rainfall we're talking about here. You know, we've had already some spots that have picked up between 1, 2, even now 3+ inches of rain along the coastline. Are you seeing any hot spots along the track where we're expecting more of the bullseye? And is there anything to watch out for? Like, hey, could a feeder band impact someone that kind of creates higher totals somewhere too?
Yeah, that's certainly possible. Especially, we're going to see a big rainfall total near where the core moves on shore, because there's very intense rates of rainfall near the eye wall. That could be down here in coastal Louisiana. Everywhere you see in yellow here is widespread, 4 to 6 inch rainfall totals, even 6 to 8 down here. So we could see, again, isolated locations getting totals, 10, 12 inches overall. And then the potential for some of these feeder bands to set up. It's hard to predict exactly where they'll set up. They can be pretty narrow, so a 20 or 30 mile per hour shift can mean a big difference in whether the heavy rain sets up over New Orleans or over Gulfport or even farther east over the Alabama coast. But the potential is certainly there, so people want to pay attention, and you can see that's basically reflected in all the flood watches that are in effect for your entire viewing area and much of the central Gulf Coast this afternoon.
Mike, I want to say I absolutely love the new technology with like the cities that are popping up, kind of interpolating as you zoom in. It looks fantastic. Such a great graphical tool. One more thing before I let you go. Newly issued tornado watch. Can you talk a little bit more about the tornado threat and how this may progress well after dark for some areas and well inland too?
Yeah, the Storm Prediction Center just has issued a tornado watch. I saw that was going to be coming in the next few hours. As those rain bands move on shore, those isolated cells that develop out in those outer rain bands could spin up and result in pretty fast forming tornadoes. They might not last a long time, but they can form pretty quickly. They can cause damage. And again, in these outer bands, as the center of Francine moves kind of generally in this direction, everywhere to the right of the center is going to get these rain bands, and that's the most favored location. It's going to extend well east of the center, well east of your viewing area over into portions of Alabama and Florida, and that risk is going to continue all through the rest of the day into tonight. I didn't see how long the tornado watch goes for, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes into the early morning hours tomorrow.
Mike Brennan, Director of the National Hurricane Center, thank you so much, as always, for joining us. Love the breakdown, love the new technology and the screens behind you. Everything looks fantastic. Thank you.